What's up YouTube, this is Siren Frost once again, and today I'm doing another deck profile for you guys out of my little upcoming deck profiles holiday thing, whatever the hell it is. So I decided to make this a different version of Neo Nectar. It's not like the it's like considered like a Legion, but well actually it is a Legion deck, so. But it's also known as the Maiden Legion / Stride. Because, you know, the Musketeers already had their fun. Because I think they've had a lot more opportunities than we do. So this time the Maidens have now their chance of getting a Legion. So with that being said, let's go on the deck profile. So today's starting Vanguard would be Bud, Maiden, Ho. Oh, son of a bitch. Sorry, guys, I am not drunk. I swear to God, I'm not. Anyways, her name is Bud Maiden Ho, but it's, in some Japanese is called Sprout Maiden Ho. Her generation break 1 is you move her to the soul and you counter blast 1, and you choose one of your rear guards and it gets +5. You choose up to 4 of your own rear guards and it gets +5,000 each. So to me, that's not a bad unit, not a bad thing to say whatsoever. I don't know why my camera here decides to be a little bastard about things. There you go. Anyway, so that's my starting Vanguard for this deck, for this build. I'm doing most of the old stuff like I did with my old decks, but so for heal triggers, I got 4 copies of Sweet Honey, 4 Night Queen Musketeers Daniel, Gardenia Musketeer Alain. And then we're doing a stand trigger for this deck called Maiden of Daybreak. What she does is you put her on top of the deck, and then your Vanguard or choose up to 2 of my units with the same name, and they get +5,000 in turn. So that's kind of why. As long as she's called to the rear guard circles, so that's cool. Sorry guys, I just have a little bit of a cold today. So it's pretty much standard for Nectar, in my opinion. Anyways, now in this deck, also, guys, you can also think of it as a budget deck, because it is some of these cards are not expensive and they're very cheap to get. So whether on eBay or Amazon, whatever you prefer, tickles your pickle. So for grade 1s, I'm playing 4 copies of Buddy Maiden Diane. This is where it gets kind of different from Tokaha's build. She's just your typical AK vanilla, just to boost and, you know, get some good attacks off. Next, I'm playing 4 of the original Perfect Guards from the set 6. Maiden of Blossom Rain, just your typical generic Perfect Guards. All the good shiny stuff. I'm also playing in this deck 2 Maiden of Cannas. For each Counterblast 1, you move her to the soul, and you select up to 2 of your own rear guards with the same name as each other's, and they get +5,000 in the end of turn. So that's a very good thing to add more aggressive attacks to this deck. And then finally, I'm playing 4 copies of Maiden of Cherry Stone. You can activate her ability when she is successfully boosting a unit. Or let me double check this, because when an attack hits the Vanguard during the battle, this unit boosts. If you have a Neo Nectar Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 card named Maiden of Cherry Bloom and Superior Call it and rest, and then shuffle your deck. So it just adds a little more Superior Calls, but only to the grade 2 Cherry Bloom. So next for grade 2s, I'm playing the 10k vanilla Blossoming Maiden Cela, 4 of her, just to add more attacks to the deck. Then I'm also playing 4 copies of Maiden Cherry Bloom, just to when an attack hits the Vanguard, you can Counterblast and Soul Blast 1 card, and you can search your deck for up to 1 card named Maiden of Cherry Stone from your deck and Superior Call it at rest. So Maiden of Cherry Bloom and Cherry Stone can usually just help each other out. So, but it does add more and more Spirit Calls, especially when you add stand triggers to the deck. Last but not least, we also play 3 copies of Wheelwind Dragon. Her generation break 1 is like whenever this attack hits the Vanguard successfully, you can flip 2 damage from your damage zone face up. Or at least it's stupid 2. Yep, 2. Sorry guys, I'm kind of a little bit drained or a little tired today, so forgive me. Next, I'm also playing 4 copies of the new unit, Maiden of Rambling Rose. This is where the Legion actually comes in. She actually legions with the Maiden of Trailing Rose, so this is like a revival Legion deck profile kind of thing. And what she does is that she gets 22,000 total when she legions, and then then her first auto ability is choose a card from your hand and discard it. When this unit legions, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 2 cards the same name as that unit on your Vanguard circle, and reveal them to your opponent. Choose a card from among them and put it into your hand. Call the rest to rear guard and shuffle your deck. Then, with her Soul Blast, when this unit is placed in the Vanguard circle, choose one of your grade 1 or less rear guards, and then you can search your deck for up to 1 card the same name as that unit, and call it to rear guard and shuffle your deck. So, in other words, she adds a little bit more superior calls and adds more pressure to the deck. And especially that we all know that, finally we have 4 copies of Maiden of Trailing Rose. Everyone kind of knows what she does, so I'm not really going to probably explain it, but I'll probably explain to her about auto ability. She's also considered to be a Persona Blast ability. So you can Care Blast 1 and choose a card named Maiden of Trailing Rose from your hand and discard it. When this unit attack hits the Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, look at the top 5 cards of your deck and then choose up to 2 new nectars from any of them. Superior column to rear guards and shuffle your deck. So, and it's kind of funny how this card and this card can legion, or something around there, or how you kind of look at it. It just depends how you kind of look at it. So, but anyways, that is my main deck for this version of the build of Neo Nectar. Next, we also have, for G units, I'm playing 2 copies of Primavera, Carablast 3, and choose up to 5 normal units from your drop zone and place them back in the deck. And then you discard 1 card and you can superior call up to 2 units with the same name as the units that you selected on your field. So this just helps you superior call a lot, like a shit ton. So that, to me, that superior calling is always a good thing to have. It's always like a must these days. I've just noticed that. And then I'm running also 2 copies of Ahsha in this deck. You Counterblast 1 and you Persona Blast. Well, you don't Counterblast at all. You actually just flip 1 card face over and it gets this following effect. This act ability. For 1 turn, choose one of your rear guards, and if you have 2 or more rear guards the same name as that unit, all of your units get the front row get plus 5,000. Then, if the number of face-up cards in your G zone is 2 or more, choose one of your rear guards and you can search your deck for up to 1 card the same name as that unit. Call the rear guard and it gets plus 2,000, and then you shuffle your deck. So it does add a little bit more pressure, but I think she's a lot better with late game than with Primavera and other ones. And then finally, for the last G units, I'm playing 4 copies of Flower Princess of Spring's Arborea. I know probably people will be thinking, like, why not run her in your Ahsha build? It's like, well, I'm very picky on my units, and I believe there's a certain way that build is kind of made, so that's just my personal preference. And so everyone's kind of familiar with Arborea's skill, except I'll just just explain it. Actually, you know what, screw it, I'm very blind as a bat today. When this unit's attack hits a Vanguard, choose one of your rear guards, and you can search your deck for up to 1 card the same name as that unit. Call the rear guard, and it gets plus 2,000. So I was okay, I was a little off, but I wasn't exactly sure, so. But yeah, so that's just my personal preference right there. I don't know what you guys think, but and I'm sorry that I have a hard time spilling out what I'm supposed to say and all that stuff. So I do apologize for that, for if I butchered some. Anyways, guys. So anyways, that's the deck profile for my Maiden Legion. I'm very happy that the maidens actually got a legion of their own, even if it means training Rose's sister. So if you guys have any thoughts about this deck profile, there will be a full deck list in the description down below. And you guys are more than welcome to look through it and review it and see what you guys think. And yeah. Anyways, don't forget to thank you guys for your support, and I love you guys. And don't forget to subscribe, like this video, thumbs up for it if you want, if you must, and comment down below and tell me what you guys think about the deck profiles so far. And hopefully there'll be a good legion. This would be a good deck to play. I mean, this is a very cheap deck to make, guys. I mean, I'm not even kidding. You can basically get the trial decks version of these guys from the trial decks. So, and then the Rambling Rose is very cheap too. I heard they're very not much in price. So yeah, this deck's very cheap. Like a very budget Neo Nectar Legion. So anyways, guys, have a great day, and I'll see you guys in my next deck profile. So bye.